जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। जमुना तीरा वनचारी। जमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। जमुना तीरा वनचारी। जमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यष्टोत्तर श्रीमद अभयचरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की, इस्कॉन ब्यूटी फाउंडर आचार्य डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रील प्रभुपाद की, जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यष्टोत्तर श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की, जय श्री श्री राधा माधव वत्स सखिबिंद श्रीमद महाप्रभु की, श्री श्री पंचतत्व की, श्री श्री नृसिंहदेव प्रहलाद महाराज की, श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, समवेत गौर भक्तबिंद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manabhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Sha Padantikam. Vandeham Shri Gura Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavangsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatha Nitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanitangscha Namong Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanang Papanebho Vaishnavebho Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaudatishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindha Deenabandha Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Narang Chaiva Narottamam Deving Saraswating Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashtaprayasya Bhadreshu Nityang Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 15. Chapter is entitled The Pandavas Retired Timely, text number 12. yat-tejasātha bhagavān yudhi śūla-pāṇir vismāpitaḥ sagirijo stram adān nijaṁ anye upi cāham amunaiva kalevareṇa prāpto mahendra-bhavane mahad-āsanārdham yat-tejasātha bhagavān yudhi śūla-pāṇir vismāpitaḥ sa-girijo stram adān nijaṁ anye cāham amunaiva kalevareṇa prāpto mahendra-bhavane mahad-āsanārdham yat-tejasātha bhagavān yudhi śūla-pāṇir vismāpitaḥ sa-girijo stram adān nijaṁ anye cāham amunaiva kalevareṇa prāpto mahendra-bhavane mahad-āsanārdham. Vaishnavas, yat by whose, tejasā by influence, atha at one time, bhagavān the personality of God, Lord Śiva, yudhi in the battle, śūla-pāṇir one who has a trident in his hand, vismāpitaḥ astonished, sa-girijaḥ along with the daughter of the Himālaya mountain, stram weapon, adān awarded, nijaṁ of his own, me unto me, anye so also others, cha and aham, myself. Amuna, by this. Eva, definitely. Kalevareṇa, by the body. Prāptaha, obtained. Mahā-indra-bhavane, in the house of Indradev. Mahad, great. Āsana-ardham, half elevated seat. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. It was by His influence only that in a fight I was able to astonish the personality of God, Lord Śiva, and his wife, the daughter of Mount Himālaya. Thus he, Lord Śiva, became pleased with me and awarded me his own weapon. Other demigods also delivered their respective weapons to me. And in addition, I was able to reach the heavenly planets in this present body and was allowed a half-elevated seat. Purport. By the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, all the demigods, including Lord Śiva, were pleased with Arjuna. The idea is that one who is favored by Lord Śiva or any other demigod may not necessarily be favored by the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Ravana was certainly a great devotee of Lord Śiva, but he could not be saved from the wrath of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Ramachandra. And there are many instances like that in the histories of the Puranas. But here is an instance where we can see that Lord Śiva became pleased even in the fight with Arjuna. The devotees of the Supreme Lord know how to respect the demigods. But the devotees of the demigods sometimes foolishly think that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is no greater than the demigods. By such a conception, one becomes an offender and ultimately meets with the same end as Ravana and others. The instances described by Arjuna during his friendly dealings with Lord Krishna are instructive for all who may be convinced by the lessons that one can achieve all favors simply by pleasing the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, whereas the devotees or worshipper of the demigods may achieve only partial benefits which are also perishable, just as the demigods themselves are. Another significance of the present verse is that Arjuna, by the grace of Lord Sri Krishna, was able to reach the heavenly planets even with the self-same body and was honored by the heavenly demigods Indradeva, being seated with him half elevated. One can reach the heavenly planets by the pious acts recommended in the Shastras in the category of fruitive activities. And as stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.21, when the reactions of such pious acts are spent, the enjoyer is again degraded to the earthly planet. The moon is also on the level of the heavenly planets, and only persons who have performed virtues only, performing sacrifices, giving charity, and undergoing severe austerities, can be allowed to enter into the heavenly planets after the duration of life of the body. Arjuna was allowed to enter into the heavenly planets in the self-same body simply by the grace of the Lord. Otherwise, it is not possible to do so. The present attempts to enter into the heavenly planets by the modern scientists will certainly prove futile because such scientists are not on the level of Arjuna. They are ordinary human beings without any assets of sacrifice, charity, or austerities. The material body is influenced by the three modes of material nature, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance. The present population is more or less influenced by the modes of passion and ignorance, and the symptoms for such influence are exhibited in their becoming very lusty and greedy. Such degraded fellows can hardly approach the higher planetary system. Such degraded fellows can hardly approach the higher planetary systems. Above the heavenly planets, there are many other planets also, which only those who are influenced by goodness can reach. In heavenly and other planets within the universe, the inhabitants are all highly intelligent, many more times than the human beings, and they are all pious in the higher and highest mode of goodness. They are all devotees of the Lord, although their goodness is not unadulterated, still they are known as demigods, possessing the maximum amount of good qualities possible within the material world. Mukham karati vāchalam pangullanghaite giring jatkripa tamaham vande Sri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So Arjuna is feeling separation from Krishna and expressing his feeling, realizations. This verse talks about the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If someone is favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, anything can be achieved. That is the essence. So Prabhupada is making a very wonderful point in the purport that if Krishna is pleased, then all the demigods are automatically pleased. But if the demigods are pleased, that does not necessarily mean Krishna is pleased. Rather, Krishna may be very angry also. Example is given, Ravana. Ravana pleased Lord Śiva, but Lord Ramachandra was extremely angry with him because he was doing adharma. So pleasing Krishna is the goal of our life. That is the success. If Krishna is pleased, then life is successful. And if Krishna is not pleased, what is the use? There is no use. You can be the king of the whole material world also. You can be the king of the universe, Hiranyakashipu. So what is the use? You will be brutally killed. That is the consequence. But material world is like that. We have come here to enjoy. Right? Krishna bahirmukh hoiya bhagavancha kare nikotastha mayatare jhapatiyadhare. So we have taken away our face from Krishna and keeping our back. So Krishna is seeing the back and we are seeing Maya. So that is the situation. So if Krishna is pleased, then everybody will be pleased, including the demigods. So example is given, the Durvasa Muni came to the Pandavas in the forest by the conspiracy of Duryodhana. Because if Durvasa Muni becomes angry, then life will have some problem. So, and Durvasa Muni does not travel alone. He has thousands of disciples. I think 60,000 disciples. 10,000? 10,000 disciples. Who has 60,000? Someone has 60,000. Okay, thousands of disciples. And in the forest. So cooking feast is not so easy. In the forest, facility is not there. But Pandavas were blessed with Akshay Patra. But it works till Draupadi does not take Shad. But that day, Durvasa Muni came after everything was over. So Pandavas were in big difficulty. What to do? So Durvasa Muni was requested to take bath along with his disciples and come back after that. Then prasadam will be served. That was the strategy. So Krishna understood the difficulties of his dear devotees Pandavas and he appeared. And he got a small grain and he took that and he was completely satisfied. So Krishna is bhavagrahi janardhan. Krishna is pleased with the mood. Because Krishna was so pleased by taking the banana peel offered by Vidura's wife. So Krishna is not interested in banana or banana peel or Rajbhog or anything else. Krishna is greedy. Krishna is hankering for the devotion to be offered by the devotees. Patrang puspang phalang toyang jome bhaktar prajachati. Krishna is not interested in the offering. It should be offered with love. It is not the content but the intent. That's very important. Intention. So what should be the intention? Intention should be please Krishna. Rupa Goswami also explains, Anna vilasita sunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukullena Krishna anusilanam bhaktiruttama. The desire should be to please Krishna. That is Shuddha Bhakti. There should not be any other desire. If any other desire is there along with pleasing Krishna, then it becomes mixed bhakti, mixed devotional service. But Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu talks about Shuddha Bhakti, no other desire. Anna vilasita sunyam. So Anna vilasita sunyam means no other desire. What is the desire? Only desire is to please Krishna. And jnana karmadi anavritam. It's not jnana karmadi sunyam. Jnana karmadi anavritam. We can have karma and jnana. I am not going to the technical discussion today. But by this we can understand that bhakti means Krishna anusilanam. Especially Navada Bhakti. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Pada Sevanam, Archanam Vandanam Dashyam, Shakham Atma Nivedanam. Krishna anusilanam means Sarup Siddha Bhakti. Explained by Jiva Goswami in Bhakti Sandarbha. So this bhakti is Krishna anusilanam. So Anna vilasita sunyam means the purity of prayojan. We have sambandha, we have avidya, we have prayojan. So Anna vilasita sunyam means purity of the intent, purity of prayojana. What is the prayojana of our life? To please Krishna, to attain love for Krishna, to enter into relationship with Krishna in 5 different rasas. That is the perfection of our life. That is the purity of the intention, purity of the prayojana. Jnana karmadi anavritam means purity of avidya. It should be only bhakti, not karma, not jnana. It should be only the limbs of bhakti to be performed. Then that is Uttama Bhakti. So pleasing Krishna is the goal of our life. So Prabhupada gives the example, just if you provide food to the stomach, the whole body will be nourished. And Prabhupada gives another example, if we water the root of the tree, then all other parts of the tree are nourished. These are the 2 famous examples. But if you analyze properly, we can learn a lesson. So, when we eat, we don't provide the food to the stomach, right? Where do we put the food? In the mouth. Then it goes to the stomach. It's not that every day we take our stomach and fill the stomach with food, again operation is done, every day we do like that. Don't do like that. We put the food in the mouth and through the medium of mouth it goes to the stomach. And same thing applies to that watering the root of the tree. We don't water the root. Where do we give the water? On the soil. It's not that every day we take out the root and put water, give water, then again put it in. We don't do it like that. Definitely you water the root, but you don't water the root directly. That is the lesson to be learned. There must be medium. Direct is not possible. So, Krishna is compared to the stomach or root. If watering or food is like the devotion, then what is the medium? Medium is devotees. So we cannot please Krishna directly. That is the lesson to be learned. We have to please the devotees. That's why Krishna says, those who claim they are my devotees, they are not my devotees. Those who are the devotees of my devotees, they are my devotees. And Mahaprabhu has the same mood. Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayur Das Das Anudas. Why? Because that is the system established by Krishna. Because Krishna is surrounded by devotees. Unlimited number of devotees. That's why if you want to establish relationship with Krishna, we have to practice how to build relationship with the devotees. That's why Krishna came as devotee. That's why Krishna came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sadhu Sangha is the birthplace of bhakti, not Krishna Sangha. Sadhu Sangha. Naham tishtami vaikunthe yoginam hridaya shiva tatra tishtami narada jatra gayanti mad bhakta. Krishna says that I don't stay in Vaikuntha planet, I don't stay in the heart of a yogi, I stay in the place where my devotees glorify me. The place becomes Vaikuntha where devotees are there. If there is no devotee, what is the point having Vaikuntha? Krishna is Krishna because of his devotees. So Krishna is surrounded by unlimited number of devotees. In his childhood, when he goes for Govasya Charan, means going for herding the calves. How many number of calves Krishna takes into the forest? Unlimited number. And our acharyas are explaining unlimited means 1 followed by 17 zeros. Just to give some idea. When Krishna dances with the gopis in Maharasa Leela, Krishna dances with how many gopis? 3 billion gopis. 300 crores is the number. Just to give some understanding. So how we can have access to Krishna? Only possibility is to take shelter of those devotees. Otherwise, it will be always impossible. That's why pleasing Krishna is possible when we start pleasing devotees. So association of devotees is the secret of success. Prabhupada says, doing bhakti, getting perfection of bhakti without devotees is phantasmagoria, does not exist. But the problem is that staying with the devotees is the greatest austerity, especially in Kali Yuga. Becoming devotees is difficult. Staying as devotee, more difficult. And staying happy as devotee is most difficult. At the beginning, everything is very happy, no? Because everything new is very nice. Dress is new, culture is new, prasadam is new, deities are new, knowledge is new, place is new, everything is new. And whatever is new is very attractive. But after some time, same Srimad Bhagavatam, same deities, same place, same face of the devotees, same Hare Krishna Mahamantra, no variety. Then it becomes boring, not so interesting. And in Kali Yuga, people like to do something interesting. And that is the crux of the problem. We want to see varieties externally. But Krishna consciousness is nothing external. It is the experience of the soul. It is the experience within. Variety should be within. What Mahaprabhu is experiencing by chanting the holy name of the Lord? Unlimited joy. Unlimited varieties of joy in the same mantra. That is Mahaprabhu. And what Rupa Goswami is telling, not have the full Mahamantra also. He is telling, I don't know what is there in this 2 letter, Krishna. When I chant this mantra, I aspire to have millions and millions of tongues and millions of ears. And I don't know what happens to me. And Mahaprabhu is telling also, what kind of mantra my spiritual master gave, I don't know. Kiba mantra dila gosai, kiba tar bol, jopita jopita mantra korilo pagal. So Prakashananda Saraswati and all the stalwart sannyasis in Varanasi, they are telling Mahaprabhu, you are a sannyasi and you are from our sampradaya only. And you are supposed to study Vedanta. And Mahaprabhu was also trained in Vedanta by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Very nicely. But you are not coming to us or to talk about having association. And instead of studying Vedanta, you are singing and dancing like a sentimental person. And not only alone, thousands and thousands of people are dancing with you. What kind of sannyasi are you? What Mahaprabhu said? He said, what can I do? My spiritual master told that you are a number one fool. You don't have any right to study Vedanta. You don't have any qualifications to study Vedanta. And he has given a mantra. And I don't know what happens to me when I chant this mantra. I become mad. And when someone becomes mad, he doesn't know what to do. What he does? That's why it's happening to me. By seeing the purity of Mahaprabhu, their heart started changing. And then Mahaprabhu gave a whole discussion on Vedanta Sutra. It is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So who knows Krishna, things will be revealed. I am not discouraging studying. Mahaprabhu never discouraged study. But by studying, you cannot understand Krishna. It's not the object of academic endeavor. Bhaktamam api janati. Krishna can be understood by bhakti, not by knowledge, not by yoga, not by karma, only by devotion. And in this Kali Yuga, the best and most effective way to experience that is chanting the holy name. That is the process. And it has unlimited variety. Unlimited. But provided we enter into that. That's why Rupa Goswami has written Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Ocean. Unlimited ocean. But we have to enter into that. And in that ocean, there is the most valuable jewel available. Most valuable. And what is that most valuable jewel? Love of Godhead. Krishna Prema. That jewel is available. But for that we have to have one qualification. Bhajaner madhya sreshta navavida bhakti. Krishna Prem Krishna dite dhare mahashakti. Tar madhya sarvasreshta nam sankirtan. Niraparade nam loile pai premadhan. Bhajaner madhya sreshta navavida bhakti. There are many processes given by Sanatana Goswami in Hari Bhakti Vilas, Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. But out of this 9 processes of devotional service, which is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam by Prahlad Maharaj in 7th canto, is the most effective, best. Why? It has the great potency, Mahashakti, to give Krishna and love for Krishna. Krishna Prem, Krishna dite dhare Mahashakti. Tar madhya sarvasreshta nam sankirtan. Out of these 9, nam sankirtan is the topmost. Niraparade nam loile pai premadhan. When we chant this holy name, we get love of Godhead, but one condition is there, we have to be free from offenses. And we are stuck in that only. Krishna is unlimited, his holy name is also unlimited, and this holy name has unlimited bliss. Pratipadam purnamrita ashradanam. At every step, Mahaprabhu is experiencing unlimited nectar. But we are not experiencing as a sadhaka. Why? Because we are committing offenses. And that is the great difficulty. That's why we have to learn to take shelter of the devotees. Devotees are wonderful. They may have thousands of faults, but Krishna does not see any fault in them. And if you find faults in the devotees, that's like a shooting arrow in the heart of Krishna. So painful for Krishna to bear the criticism of the devotees. That's why Mahaprabhu is telling, amunaiva. We have to start respecting people. That is Krishna consciousness. Not expecting respect. Pride means expecting respect. Humility means giving respect. Who can chant the holy name purely? Trinadapi sunichena tararapi sahishnuna. Amunaiva kirtaniya sadahari. This is the fundamental verse, the necklace. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is telling. If one wants to become a Vaishnava, this verse should be the necklace. And this is the most difficult verse to practice. We can speak, but very difficult to practice. Why? Because we have the ego. Mountain-like ego. And we are stuck in that. And because of that, we don't give respect, rather we expect respect. And when you are proud, you become critical. Because pride cannot allow you to see good in others. That's why there are 5 levels of people. 1, the lowest level is who cannot see any good in others. No good. What he sees? Only bad. That is the lowest level, 5th level. There is 4th level, who can see both good and bad, but he does not talk about good. He magnifies the bad. That is 4th level. 3rd level, who sees good and bad equally, neutral. Then 2nd level, who sees good and bad who sees good and bad, but who does not talk about bad, magnifies the good. And the top level is who cannot see bad. He can only see good. They are the Paramhansas, Mahabhagavat. So at least we should come to the 2nd level. And that is the most difficult level as a sadhaka. Because criticizing is like a chutney, very attractive. Very attractive to criticize. And Kali Yuga is the place of prajalpa. Sotavyadini rajendram ninam santi sahasrasa apussatam atmatattam grihesu grihomedinam. How we can understand the community standard? Where criticism happens, that is the symptom that this is the place of Kanishtha-adhikari devotees. Where there is no good relationship, where there is no appreciation of devotees, where there is no Krishna Katha, only fighting criticism, that is a symptom that devotees here are in Kanishtha platform. Madhyama means he knows how to interact with the devotees. He knows how to see good in others. Madhyama. Unless someone comes to the level of Madhyama, there is no chance to chant the holy name purely. Because Madhyama platform is the level of Nishtha. Nishtha Bhakti is the level of Madhyamadhikari. Adau Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha Bhajana Kriya Anartha Nibriti. Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava and Prabhu. Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains, from Shraddha to Anartha Nibriti is Kanishtha-adhikari. Nishtha is Madhyamadhikari. From Ruchi to Prema is Uttamadhikari. Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains. So, Prabhupada expected the devotees should come to the platform of Madhyamadhikari as soon as possible. Otherwise, these devotees will be struggling devotees, critic devotees, and in due course of time, they will leave the process of devotional service and enter into Maya again. Only time. That is the problem. If someone is not getting taste in devotional service, why? Jiva Goswami is explaining, because of the offenses. Those who are free from offenses, they will be very, very joyful in executing devotional service. Because devotional service is joyfully performed. Susukham kartum abhayam. Unlimitedly, devotees will experience joy. Who is free from these offenses. But after 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, still devotees are not experiencing happiness, bliss in Krishna consciousness. The main reason is offensive mentality. And why is coming? Because of pride, false ego. And false ego comes from ignorance. Knowledge gives humility and ignorance gives pride. Who knows Krishna, how he can be proud? He cannot be proud. He will be definitely humble because Krishna is unlimitedly great. Who can realize that, definitely he will be humble. But who cannot appreciate Krishna's greatness, who cannot appreciate the greatness of devotees, definitely he will be proud. And that is a proof of pride and that is a proof of ignorance. Avidya is the root cause of our problem. So therefore, we have to be situated in knowledge. So Krishna consciousness really begins when we act on the platform of transcendental knowledge. Sambandha Gyan. Jivera Saruphay Krishner Nitya Das. We are the servant. So therefore, we have to take shelter of the devotees. Sadhu Sangha. When Mahaprabhu wanted to give benediction to Haridas Thakur in Srivas Angan, he is Brahma. He said, I want to give benediction to you. Whatever you want, I will give you. You want Ashtasiddhis, I will give you. If you want to become the king of the heaven, I can give you. You want to become the king of the whole world, I can give you. Whatever you want, I can give you. But Haridas Thakur, what he said? He said, my dear Lord, don't allure me like that. I don't want all these things. But if you want to give, because you are forcing me to give something, so I don't mind taking birth again. I don't want liberation also. But please give me birth in the house of a devotee. If that birth is also the body of an insect or body of a dog, I don't mind. Haridas Thakur, Brahma, Namacharya of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, he is ready to take birth as dog in the house of a Vaishnava. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, our most elevated position is that we are the dog of the Vaishnavas. Vaishnavera kukur. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to be very proud to explain that I am the dog of my spiritual master, I am the dog of the Vaishnavas. That is the mood to be cultivated. And when we cultivate that mood, then mercy will flow. Humility attracts mercy. But Prabhupada is telling, in this world, people are too much influenced by mode of passion and ignorance. When there is passion, there is no question of humility. So Krishna consciousness means to reduce the passion. Passion leads to envy. That's why you have to purify our passion. Srimad Bhagavatam begins how a person can situate oneself into mode of goodness. Because goodness means revelation. Things will be revealed. Knowledge will be revealed. Krishna will be revealed. So therefore, cultivating the mode of goodness is very, very important. Then things will be very, very conducive to advance in Krishna consciousness. So passion leads to envy. So that passion has to be purified, transcendental passion. And transcendental passion leads to compassion. As passion reduces, compassion rises. So devotee, a Vaishnava, is compassionate. And conditioned soul is passionate. So passion leads to envy. That's why by constitution, living entities in this material world are envious. And those who are envious, they cannot enter into Srimad Bhagavatam. They cannot enter into devotional service, or to talk about experiencing devotional service. In order to enter, we have to be free from envy. Because if envy is there, you cannot appreciate anything. Only he can appreciate his greatness. He will think, I am the greatest devotee and everybody is in Maya. And they are in biggest Maya because they cannot appreciate me. They don't know how great I am. That is the biggest Maya those people have. Because he is in the greatest Maya. Because beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Who is in the greatest Maya, he thinks everybody is in great Maya. So Kanistha, he thinks he is the only devotee. Madhyama, he sees properly. He can appreciate Krishna, he can appreciate devotees, he can appreciate innocent, he can also knows who is envious and act accordingly. That is a symptom of Madhyama. And Uttama, he thinks everybody has become devotees except him. That is Uttama platform. But as a sadhaka, we should be at least at the level of Madhyama. Then we can act properly. So how to judge a Kanistha, Madhyama, Uttama? Prabhupada is telling in the purport that devotees respect demigods. What to talk about demigods? Devotees respect everyone. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is singing, who can chant the holy name purely? Sakale samman karite sakoti dehonatha yat-tejasātha tabe to gaiba hari nama sukhe aparadha habe atha. How we can be free from offenses? When we learn how to respect everyone. He is not telling every devotee, every living entity. How to do that? That's why Prabhupada is writing, who is Kanistha? Who gives respect only to two personalities. The Supreme Personality of Godhead and his spiritual master. Nobody else. Because everybody is in Maya. So he gives respect to these two personalities. Who is Madhyama? Who gives respect to all the Vaishnavas, all the devotees. He is Madhyama. Prabhupada writes that in Krishna book. And who is Uttama? Who gives respect to all living entities. He is Uttama. How it is possible? It's not theoretical. It's a science. It's a science of Krishna consciousness. Because giving respect is the beginning of Krishna consciousness. For that we should have spiritual vision. We should have spiritual knowledge. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gabihastini suni chaiva sa pakecha pandita samadarshina. This is the fundamental verse. You have to learn. That is the beginning of Krishna consciousness. This is the essence of Krishna consciousness. If we cannot practice this, other things will not happen. This is the fundamental formula. Anna vilasita sunnam is a fundamental formula. If we don't act on this fundamental formula, we cannot progress anything. So, what is the symptom of knowledge? Vinaya means humility. Vidya vinaya sampanna. And how he expresses that humility? Sees everyone equally. How? Everybody is not equal, all are varieties. How he can see equally? We cannot see equally in material platform. That equality will come when we have spiritual vision. When we can see the soul within, then we can see everyone equally. Then when he goes further in advancement, then he does not see only the soul, he also sees the super soul. So Uttamadhikari, he sees in every body a soul and along with that a super soul. So he does not see the body of a living entity. He sees the super soul in that body. The super soul is the Supreme Lord, and wherever Lord resides, that becomes a temple. Right? And when we see the temple, what do? We offer respect. So Uttamadhikari does not have to come to the temple. He sees every living entity's body as a living temple. Why? Because he sees in that body the presence of the Supreme Lord. And he offers respect. That's why Srila Bhakti-siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to offer respect to his disciple and said, I am your servant. Dasa asmin. Raghunath Das Goswami used to offer obeisances to people 2000 times every day minimum at Radha Kund. Why? Whoever offers respect to him, he used to offer back respect. Because he does not see externally. He sees the presence of the Supreme Lord in every living entity's body. So we have to learn how to give respect. And as the area of respect expands, that is a symptom of advancement. How we can judge that we are advancing or not? We will judge it by seeing whether my tendency to give respect is increasing or tendency to expect respect is increasing. If we are expecting respect more, then we are not advancing. We are going downward towards Krishna consciousness. And when we see that we are now feeling to give respect more to devotees, then that is a symptom of advancement. It's very easy to understand. We are advancing or not advancing. So Prabhupada has taught us how to measure our advancement. It's a science. And if we practice according to the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, then we can very systematically progress in our Krishna consciousness and attain perfection in our spiritual journey. And that is the purpose of our spiritual life. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare Bol. 9 o'clock, time is up. So, if you have any question, you have to ask personally because we cannot go beyond time. One question maybe you can ask. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept our obeisances. Prabhu, it is understood that Prabhupada had a perfection only after 32 years while in chanting. So if that is the case, is it possible to have that much perfection in this short span of our life?
Okay.
Only by chanting, other than sufficient knowledge in Krishna consciousness?
Okay, one question at a time.
Only one question.
Okay. So Prabhupada said that after 30 years of chanting, I got some taste in chanting, something like that he said. So how many years we need? So it's a very, I can say, it's a very open-ended question. So I'll give one example to illustrate this point. So there is a man in a village, he never went out of that village. One day he wanted to go to some place and he wanted to catch a train. And there is a train station there, out of the village, but he doesn't know where is that train station, because he never went out. So he was going and he saw a farmer. And he asked that farmer, can you tell me how long it will take to go to the station? He was asking very loudly, but the farmer was not answering at all. He asked many times, but no answer. And that man thought, I am getting late, better to run. So he started running. Then the farmer replied, it will take 10 minutes. He said, I was asking so many times, but you never answered. But as soon as I started running, you answered me. How come? He said, how can I answer you? I did not know what speed you will go. So when I saw you running, then I could understand the speed. So that's why I told 10 minutes. So whether it will take 30 years or 30 lifetimes or 30 hours or 30 minutes or 30 seconds or 30 days or 30 months, it depends on our speed. Okay? It's nothing external. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada